So, if you've been curious about Sermo but you haven't joined yet, or maybe you signed up a little while ago and haven't logged in months, I'm telling you, try it again. Try it with intention, try it with community and connection in mind. Try it with your notifications on, your wallet ready for those deposits, and your curiosity dialed all the way up. Welcome to The PA is In, the show created by PAs for PAs, where codependency with your supervising physician is a thing of the past, optimal team practice is the future, and physician associate has taken the place of physician assistant as the professional title of choice. I'm Tracy Bingaman, and I'm obsessed with redefining what success as a PA looks like and what it feels like. Here you'll find the mindset shifts, systems, and processes I use to escape healthcare burnout and integrate my work into my life. Work-life balance is a myth, and an integrated life where you thrive professionally, not a balancing act, is the goal here. My mission is to help you to grow into a unicorn PA who loves their job, has abundant energy, time to spare, and work-optional financial freedom. The PA is in. Hey friend, welcome back to The PA is In. I'm your host, Tracy Bingaman, PA, career coach, and perpetual connector of good people to other good people. If you and I have a call, there's about a 95% chance that it will result in an email introducing you to someone in my network, sharing them that I hope can help with whatever is going on with you. Today, I want to pull back the curtain on a platform you've probably heard of, but might not be using to its full potential, a place where you can earn cash and also form some of those connections of your own. Maybe you've been thinking about it, maybe you haven't joined us yet. It is Sermo. I joined Sermo about a year ago, and honestly, I didn't expect much. I joined other groups, networking apps, survey companies, and similar. I have over the years been generally disappointed. Whether it's more of a newsfeed with articles and less connection, or a dearth of activity from members, whether it's the fact that I don't ever get any surveys that I qualify for, I found some of the other networking and survey companies lacking. What I found after joining Sermo was a clinician-only platform that's not just full of really important conversations, it's also full of opportunities. Specifically created for APPs, it's full of PAs and NPs who get it. So let's dive into 6 surprising things about Sermo, how it's helped me to connect, collaborate, learn, and earn, plus why I think you should give Sermo a try. We love a great side hustle here. If you've been looking for a flexible way to earn extra income without picking up more shifts, my friend REITZNER has something worth checking out. She's a PA and recruiter working with a telehealth company in a 1099 role, sharing compounded GLP-1s and soon to launch products like hormone replacement therapy. It's not an MLM, simply referring potential customers, and it's free to do. And Bree will teach you exactly how to do it. You can find her email, number to text or call, and the link to sign up in the show notes. 1. The power of real connections. This one caught me off guard in the best way. There are so many people working in various different places in the country and across the world in different settings and specialties. The connections are so real and so tangible. Recently, a fellow clinician posted about who wanted to work in Australia, and we got to chatting in the comments. She shared her email with me, and I looped her in directly with a connection of mine from LinkedIn who was already traveling the world and doing their own research on how to go about working internationally. It's a connection that could leapfrog her towards international licensing, appropriate credentialing information, and other connections that might prove fruitful on her way to practicing internationally. That conversation didn't just stay inside the app. It translated into a real opportunity and a tangible connection that spanned time zones and professions. Inside of Sermo, I've made friends, built new relationships, and found people to collaborate with or just commiserate with. On a recent post of mine, a former podcast guest posted, sort of commented on my post, and I reconnected with her and had this opportunity to say like, hey, how are you? We haven't talked in a while. It's a rare space where people get what it's like to be a practicing PA, NP, or APRN. Number 2, it pays. Literally. Let's talk about money. I stayed for the connection for sure that I had just mentioned, but I initially joined Sermo to vet its cash generating side gig potential. I've made thousands of dollars through Sermo doing surveys and referring colleagues. It did take a few months to get into the rhythm of it, figuring out which surveys I qualified for, and getting the notifications turned on. Here are a few things that I have found that help in terms of getting surveys regularly. Having the app helps. Having notifications turned on, whether that's texting or through the app or email, checking the surveys, and responding as quickly as possible all help in getting the surveys, but also I think in getting more surveys. So qualifying for a survey and getting paid to do it, and also getting more just in your inbox that you could potentially try to qualify for. In the interest of complete transparency, I got screened out a bunch in the first few weeks to months, like lots of surveys that I didn't qualify for. I'm also in a very niche specialty, and I was really bummed each time I did the screener, answered the questions, said what state I was from, what specialty or setting, and didn't meet the criteria. Some of the screeners will give you $5 or $10 for that 3 minutes of screening out questions, and some will just say, better luck next time. However, I did hang in there. I eventually qualified for some aesthetics and specialty specific surveys, and also some surveys about how you gather information and learn as a clinician in terms of CME resources. And my experience has been that once I started qualifying for those, similar ones ended up in my survey list. Now, I do still get surveys about hemophilia or other things that I am not qualified to answer questions on because I don't treat patients with that disorder or with, specific drug, etc. But once I sort of found the lane and qualified for some of those surveys, I found that there were more. And now I get emails offering me $45 for 25 minutes of my time. If you have another way that people are just tossing money into your inbox for your insights and opinions, send them my way. Seriously, if you have other side gig ideas or survey companies, send me an email to themoneypa@gmail.com. I would love to check them out and review them on here. Everyone deserves someone who can pre-screen these things and say, hey, is this worth your time and energy or not? So here is my advice when it comes to earning money through the surveys. Give it a solid 3 months. Do not give up after 1 or 2 rejections or if you screen out of a couple surveys. Say yes to everything that you qualify for. Answer those calls early and often. They do fill up or they do have a time limit on when they're accepting people into answering the surveys. Cash the payouts. And then after 3 months, reevaluate. Is this worth my time? Is this something that I'm enjoying? Is this like one other drain or drag? An insider tip is that if you get to $100 balance in your wallet on Sermo and leave it on the platform, it actually bumps up your eligibility for future surveys. So think of that as a little benchmark. Can you get to that in the first couple of weeks or month? And then can you stay there in terms of earning more and then cash it out down to that $100? You're still in that sort of elite tier. They don't call it that. I think it does have some premium wording associated with it, but it's not called the elite tier. I just made that up. Number 3, a safe space for advanced practice providers. This one is big. Sermo has created an APP-only community, and that is where I spend my time inside of the Sermo community. It's for PAs and NPs only. No physicians, no nurses, just us. Recently, there was a thread on how to handle patients who say, I want to see the real doctor, or I want to see the doctor, or what to do when patients treat us like we're a stepping stone to someone else. Like they're not getting the full care from an APP as it would from one of our physician colleagues. There was another trend or another topic that was talking about misconceptions about PAs and NPs and what we actually do and what patients believe that we're able to do, qualified to do in terms of treating them. These conversations are real and raw and validating. And I love that we don't have to explain ourselves to people who still don't get it, because inside of the APP community of Sermo, we are talking to each other. Each provider in the group is a vetted PA or NP, and having a space for advanced practice providers is just so important. Are you feeling stuck, burned out, or craving a little more flexibility and financial freedom? You're not alone. So many clinicians feel trapped in the grind, overworked, underpaid, and unsure how to pivot. But here's the truth. Your skills are valuable beyond the clinic. That's why I created the 48 Side Gig Ideas for Healthcare Providers Guide, a free PDF packed with practical, creative, and immediately cash-generating ideas that you can start right now. From telehealth to medical writing and patient advocacy to app development, and even a little note on podcasting, these things aren't fluff. These are real, proven opportunities that other providers are already doing. You don't have to figure it out alone. This guide will help you explore new passions, learn how to make extra money, and make the first step towards multiple income streams and building the life and career you actually want. Download your free copy today at tracybingaman.com/gig or click the link in the show notes and start creating financial freedom and cash flow flexibility on your own terms. Because you, my friend, are more than just your clinical job, and taking the first step to generating alternative revenue streams is waiting for you inside the Side Gig Guide. Find it now in the show notes. Number 4, learning across specialties. You know that I'm all about expanding your perspective, whether it's through listening to an episode of this show with a guest in an interesting career path or a niche specialty, and Sermo has been an unexpected goldmine of clinical learning. There was a thread on elevated LDL and CAC scores in light of coronary artery disease, patient-specific risk factors, and family history, which is, as you well know, not even remotely related to my clinical work in plastic surgery and aesthetics, and I was fascinated. It's like ongoing CME, real-time, crowdsourced from smart clinicians who are doing this work across so many different clinical settings and specialties. It's the kind of things that reminds you just how much there is to know and how powerful cross-specialty conversations can be. It's fascinating to see what primary care is doing with this information versus electrophysiology versus cardiology. Are people going to come into their next Botox appointment with me with questions about their LDL? Probably not. And honestly, I'm probably still not qualified to answer them. But am I now better informed for if and when a family member or friend approaches me with a cardiac question about LDL and coronary artery disease? You betcha. Any conversation that bridges the gap between specialties and shares what people are doing as best practice in clinical practice is a space that I want to be in. Number 5, it's not just social, it's safe. Unlike open forums like Facebook groups where anyone can lurk or troll, Sermo is clinician-only. That means it's a closed community and a safer space to ask questions, vent, or say, hey, I've never done this before, seen this before, or come across it before. Can anyone help? I want to remind you to always be HIPAA compliant and careful about what you're posting on the internet, because even in a closed community, you want to make sure that you're abiding by protected health information and keeping your patient's identity and details safe. The community inside of Sermo is surprisingly vulnerable, professional, and generous in a way that I wasn't expecting. People genuinely show up to support and help each other. That's rare inside of medicine in a community where we eat our young. And that's why I keep coming back to this space. Recently, I got into a little bit of a mental funk. I had someone share with me her new diagnosis of breast cancer. She's my age with similar aged kiddos and not even old enough for a screening mammogram. Found her own breast lump on self-exam, presented for evaluation, and is undergoing treatment for her cancer. To be honest, this disclosure of this acquaintance threw me for a loop. I was in a really strange space mentally. I've had that happen in the past where I have patients that are very similar demographic or where I see myself reflected in them. So I wrote up a post sharing what I was grappling with, and I didn't feel comfortable blasting it on a relatively public platform like social media, but I shared it on Sermo inside of this closed community. Let me tell you, the comments, the outpouring of compassion alongside concrete suggestions was so buoying to me. It didn't immediately make me feel better, but it made me feel a lot less alone. Other clinicians validated my feelings, shared what had helped them in the past when they were going through similar things, and gave me the confidence that it was going to be okay, even if I didn't feel okay in that moment, and shared with me the compassion and the reminder that rest was absolutely okay as I was sort of grappling with these feelings and sort of getting through how I felt about this and how best to support this person in my life. 6, Last but certainly not least, a good reminder for life and in part of this community, the more you give, the more you get. This is the part that I'd share with you if we were having coffee. The community of Sermo gives back what you put into it. It's like any relationship. The more involved and invested you are, asking questions, responding to others, doing surveys, making introductions, lending your network to others, the more value you'll get yourself. You've got to make deposits in order to make withdrawals. Yes, it absolutely can be a tool to make money, and I am here for diversifying your income streams and having more margin in your life financially. But it's also a place to grow, connect, and truly see others and be seen by others. It's a space where you can learn, share, and not feel so alone in this very intense career we've chosen. The healthcare system is broken, and connecting with others who are in the trenches, fighting the good fight, is incredibly powerful. So, if you've been curious about Sermo but you haven't joined yet, or maybe you signed up a little while ago and haven't logged in months, I'm telling you, try it again. Try it with intention, try it with community and connection in mind. Try it with your notifications on, your wallet ready for those deposits, and your curiosity dialed all the way up. I'll drop my Sermo referral link in the show notes. You get $20 just for joining us inside of this community. Come and find me inside of this APP only space. Let's connect. Send me a message. Say hello if you are already in the community. Until next time, keep practicing medicine on your terms. Stay curious, crave and cultivate that connection, and never underestimate the power of community. That's all for today. This PA is out. Congratulations, you've just joined an awesome club. By listening to a full episode of The PA is In, you are officially on the Unicorn PA team. Welcome aboard. What most team members do is they subscribe to the podcast because that allows them to automatically get the latest episode of the show. The life of your dreams exists on the other side of taking action. Keep making small shifts and keep getting better. Your life will improve, your career will soar, and you will have the confidence you need to create your own success. I will see you in the next episode. This PA is out.